Welcome everyone to the very first episode of MacCraft. I am MacGyver, playing here in the red Protoss against Vasily, playing blue Terran. Now, MacCraft here is where I play, and I show everyone just how much better than me you really are at StarCraft. Go a little bit faster here because building harvesters isn't very interesting. I'm going to drop a pylon early. Now, for this game, I've actually played a few matches today already, most of them team matches. This is my first 1v1. I try to get in at least one a day. And I'm ready for bed. I'm really not trying to make this game last at all. And I noticed over here that he's not following my probe around, so I decided to drop a pylon and pull some shenanigans and cannon rush him. Doesn't usually work out for me very well, but the simple fact that he did not follow my probe around, which you really should do. Now he actually sees me drop these. He would not have had any idea if I had just backed it up just a hair and let it creep forward. But with 2 Marines and how long he spent chasing my probe around, it's really not going to matter because he is going to have not enough time. There comes the first cannon, second cannon, and a couple dead Marines. And third dead Marine. Now, I don't know about tournament rules that much. I've obviously never been in a tournament. But I believe that good game signifies the end of the match. And he doesn't exactly take it this way. Bad cannon placement by me, he's able to sneak Marines around the outside and take out this pylon. I notice his Marines are down here. My reaction is, uh-oh, I am probably behind on harvesters, which I am by 1 right now, not so bad. But I was sending in a reinforcement probe. Have to call that one back. It's going to put me 2 harvesters on the line behind. Maybe. 1 harvester on the line behind. He's got 1 building. And what am I waiting on? This is interesting. I've kind of got my probe just sitting here. I've got plenty of minerals. I must have been looking over here at him destroying my pylon. Well, so much for good game. Time to transition into something a little sturdier. Drop a defensive turret. Come over here, start spending some of these 800 minerals that I had saved up. I probably should have went ahead and dropped multiple gateways instead of just one. I think I've got another one coming up. Please don't post anything about my horrible spelling underneath this video. I know I prefer math. Drop a second pylon here. He is going to finally kill the last of those cannons. Now, he got off on the better side of that. I think he lost 4 Marines for a pylon and 3 cannons. That is not even anywhere near a fair trade-off. That's going to put me significantly behind in this game, not to mention he already has 5 more harvesters than me. But it's a risky play, not necessarily an all-in, because I can build up defenses fairly quickly with that tactic. And as long as he doesn't take advantage and quick expand or something and start pumping out mass units, then I am usually fine. He's bringing up his engineering bay. And I am warping in my cybernetics core on 2 gates. And trying to pump out some zealots for defense. I have had these things up for a little while now, and just now am I starting to send probes to man them. Get those saturated. I am slowly catching up on probes. Behold the power of Chrono Boost. He's not in orbital command yet, so he does not have access to mules, which puts me as a better economic force than him, really. I should be able to close this gap. In fact, I'm only 1 probe behind now. Ooh, sorry about that, folks. Had to readjust my chair. My mouse kind of went all awry. I'm going to do a little speed up here again because I'm not doing much. Dropping down a robotics facility because you got to figure if they're going Terran, here comes some siege tanks, and what kills siege tanks better than immortals? And if he doesn't have siege tanks, immortals do pretty good at killing buildings. Actually, the immortals really kill everything. The only thing they're not really good at killing marines, or the only thing they're not really good at killing is marines. Mainly because, well, they don't fire fast enough. When they're shooting at something where they have time to take their slow firing time, they destroy it. Mortals really, really powerful units. Looks like Orbital Command is almost up. And here moves out his first force, and apparently I am pulling some more shenanigans. Sent this probe over here to check and see if he had an expansion. He did not, so I've decided I'm going to drop some cannons on it, make sure he can't get one for a little while. Because I'm pretty confident in my ability to pass him in economy as long as he doesn't put up an expansion. In fact, I am above him in production right now. By quite a bit, actually. I've got my 3 warp gates up. Not nearly enough pylons. You'll see I don't have enough unit cap space to really deal with anything. And this is a pretty potent force. It looks like we've got 12 Marines and 4 Marauders coming in, along with apparently this tower that I drew a box around also. And he's going to hold off for just a second, and that may be his undoing. Now, I've got my first observer coming over here, and here comes his push. 2 zealots and 1 photon cannon, not going to work very well. I think I am going to manage to put in some power because he is more worried about this photon cannon than he is about these zealots, which is probably reverse what he should be firing at. Zealots, decent at killing marines. I'm going to warp in some reinforcements. My first immortal came up, which means that this marauder is going to die. And this is where warp gate tech really shines. You're able to bring in units instantly to deal with anything, as long as you've got enough of them. And I'm able to repel this force off, and I've got plenty of resources left to rebuild. I believe he shot down. Yep, there's the missile turret. He did shoot down my observer. But I've got my second immortal just came out, so I'm going to load both of my immortals up into my warp prism and send it around the long way. I'm thinking, well, I wonder if he's got anything back here, which of course we can see in the post effects that no, he does not. So I'm going to begin warping in units over here. Now he's again massing a pretty nice little force. He's sitting on 8 Marauders, 2 Hellions, and 10 Marines against my 2 Immortals and 5 Stalkers. 2 of which are still back at my base as rear guards, really. Here comes my second Observer out. Observers, whole hell of a lot cheaper than Warp Prisms loaded with 2 Immortals. See, the Warp Prism's 200 minerals, each Immortal's 250 plus, what, 150 gas? I think. Let me check on that real quick. 100 gas. So that's 200 gas and 700 minerals sitting right here in a glass flying ship. I would much rather this thing get destroyed by a randomly placed missile turret here. But he doesn't have anything. He is pushing out to, does take out both my pylons. Lost a lot of his units. Look at the unit count back up. He lost both his Hellions, 1 of his Marauders, and about 6 Marines, I think. Oh, there goes another Marauder. Actually, he lost more than that because he was still building units. Very costly push for him. And now I move in with my force from the backside. He's going to pull his units off to come defend. Now, he left these units over here. If he'd brought those units back in immediately, he may have been able to turn it. because with the 4 units he sent, I think he does manage to kill one immortal, but the rest of my forces kind of eat him for lunch, and then he brings in the rest of his units. By the time he's able to bring in the rest of his units, I should have another warp in. Yep, just caught up with him. I missed it. But that is more than enough units to deal with him. I generally like to play with Blink Stalkers. I haven't even researched it yet because it appears that I don't need it. I'm going to send a couple units over here to chase down these probes that were attempting to run away. Here comes some more reinforcements. Now you'll notice I've only got 3 units warping in at a time. That's because I forgot to transform this gateway. Once again, still Bronze League, still make lots and lots of mistakes. I think I just crippled all of his harvesters. He's got none left. He tries to bring out some forces. Now he did just good game me for the 2nd time, but I'm not doing anything with that. Gonna make sure he leaves before I leave. But it is nice to see someone with manners. There he went. Because a lot of times you'll see people who won't good game you when they leave. They won't say good luck, have fun at the beginning. Really, bad manners in a video game is really just retarded. I mean, you're playing to have fun, so have fun with it. Don't be rude. But, well, thanks you guys for watching the first episode of MacCraft. Hope you tune in for the second one. I'll try to get some of my multiplayer matches up. And signing out.